day 9.
Yeah.
We're back. I'm caught up. I'm excited
Are
about
you?
that. Yes.
Oh, well done.
Yes.
Show me.
Let's see. One of them is wet and blocking. I posted the first 6 blocks I put on my Instagram a couple hours ago. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm loving the colors. Loving the colors. 7 is blocking, and I just finished 8 today.
Beautiful.
Today's day 8. So I just finished 8. Yeah, so I just need to go get a quick soak and put it on a mat next to the other one that's probably dry. I blocked the other one this morning, so I don't know if it's dry or not. It is so dry here that like a block like this will be dry in half a day. I mean, just because we don't have any moisture in the air to speak of. This is the first day though that I've been like, my needle's empty. My needle is empty and I'm ready to open and start.
Ooh. Oh, you open first today then. I want to see what you've got.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, this is day 9, so we have stars on the label. Okay. And, woo, wait, dropped it. Oh, it's kind of like, look at that with some
the green.
Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
14. So it'll be just the merge where you cross over the colors.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. I love it when there's like speckles and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, for viewers that have not been following along, I'm opening them kind of randomly because I'm knitting the throw, the Radvent throw, and I will likely put them together in order diagonally. So, it's a rectangle. So I'll probably start in the one corner, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that, diagonally. We'll see.
So good.
Yeah.
And have you picked your contrast color yet?
I think I have some kind of a denim blue in my stash that I could use, but no, I haven't really. We'll have to rummage. I'm pretty sure I can find something, that will work well. I have quite a sock yarn selection.
And it's quite a neutral set, your set too. So pretty much.
Oh, I love it.
Most things will go, yeah.
I love it so much.
Well, you'll have all the little leftovers. You'll be able to make something with those. Which is actually something we were talking about earlier, wasn't it? What to do with the leftover.
Let's talk about that after you've had a chance to open yours.
All right, I get to do mine. All right. So
I'm excited.
It's day 9
for you.
I've moved over to this side.
Yesterday you had that kind of golden with the brown and tan.
The smoky quartz, it's quite brown. There's not really, there's a tiny bit of gold in it. Oh. So day 9, these beautiful sticker labels. Ooh. Going back, so that smoky quartz was a bit of a pop in now.
Wow.
So this colour is called yellow citrine.
Okay.
Which honestly just makes me want a pair of yellow citrine earrings looking at this. You can imagine it.
Yeah.
So that, when I look at these.
So I'm curious, how does the yellow citrine compare to the lemon? Show me the lemon and that side by side. Oh, okay. So it's a little richer. Maybe the lemon's a little more pale. Is it?
It is. Yeah. It's lighter and has brighter yellow pops. Yeah, it is. It might be hard to see there, but it is actually significantly different. And it has little speckles in it too.
Oh, okay.
And it's got some really little fluoro speckles. So they are quite different, but they do look similar from a distance.
Yeah. Wow. So, it's so unpredictable where that's going, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. I mean, I knew, I read the label just as I was opening it, the colour. So I kind of knew it would be yellow, but yeah, it's very interesting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to read the label today. Let's see. This one is called, this one's called Flower Press.
Oh.
And yes. Oh, I'm excited to cast on now.
So does that, I can see the green, does it also have purple speckles in there? Has it got the both?
No, well, there's some darker. It has that kind of a turquoise sort of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't see any purple. There's a little dark bit right there. Huh. I'm excited.
Yeah, so scrap knitting. I know, I love it. I make lots of patterns that are based around using up the little leftovers, and I think a few Advent patterns, the Cowl patterns were designed to use the leftover of the larger wrap so that you could make a little cowl with the leftovers. And that hat pattern I released on day 1, the Kentia Hat, is perfect for leftovers. And that's still on special for a few more days too, until the 25th of December. You can get 30% off that pattern.
Right.
And something really fun, one of the niches in the niche along, we're having a little mini cowl for that pattern. So people who are wanting to knit their Advent leftovers can jump in and maybe knit one for a gift. Someone suggested, or a couple of people, a tester and then someone in the KAL group, are using, you know, those tiny little mini skein samples some dyes send out with your yarn order.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're using those, the little sample taster.
Yeah, those
skeins.
are tiny bits. Those are like maybe what, 2 or 3 grams is all? They're little bitty.
Yeah, just really small amounts. So they're using those for the colours, and that's really fun. And talking about, you know, like actually sampling the yarn, because some of them are different bases and textures, but it's working out in this hat pattern. And I think the Kentia...
Now with your Kentia hat though, you have your tidbits, like your leftovers. Like, see, like I'm saving all mine in here, and but then you have a main color as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could use a main color and the tidbits, which I did for one of my samples, but you could also just use the tidbits. You could just alternate and make sure that they're contrasting, because you need that strong contrast for the stripes to work. But you could, do them in a kind of random order and just use all the leftovers.
I'm considering putting, like, you know how I'm knitting these in knitting the blocks in random order, but I am hanging on to the numbers that they came in so I can put everything back in the correct gradient order. And that's what I'm considering doing with my little leftovers also. And then because I really love that flow, that smooth flow of the gradient, and I thought maybe I would make a hat, a beanie with that smooth flow and just knit, like just knit number 1 until it's gone, knit number 2 until it's gone, knit number 3 until it's gone. I might just do that. I don't know. Or a cowl. It depends. I might weigh them all and then kind of estimate how the yardage and then see what I have in actuality.
Another way that's fun to do that is if you hold 2 strands together, so it's more like a DK weight. And so you knit colour 1, and then you drop 1 strand of colour 1 and pick up 1 strand of colour 2 and knit that for a bit, and then you'll get a really beautiful graduating fade. And then
really smooth. Yeah.
Drop the other strand of colour 1 and knit some colour 2.
Yeah.
And so on. And that makes it really smooth.
I'd have to measure it out and decide when to switch. I'd have to know when to switch.
Yeah, it's slightly more complicated.
Yeah, but it might be worth it. That'd be really neat and warmer. And, you know, it's windy and cold here.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Brilliant.
Yeah, and if you weigh it, you'll know how much yardage you have, so you'll be able to figure out which pattern that would suit.
Oh, I was going to wing it. I was just
going to wing it. Total number of little bits, that'll give you an idea of your total yardage.
Oh, yeah.
It's enough for a hat or a cowl or...
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, right. I thought you meant which specific pattern. I was like... Like I don't have enough.
And it's so satisfying using up those little bits. Another one where I use the leftovers of a kit where I knit the wrap. This was last year's pattern, one of the adventuring, perhaps. I'll send you some pictures. So I knit the wrap out of one of Terina's kits, Love and Speckles kits. Cowl, a really simple cowl that just takes small amounts of each colour. And then I was able to knit a Kentia hat, which I'm knitting another one at the moment. So this is what I'm working on.
Wow,
so with this one,
you've gotten a lot done since yesterday. You've gotten really far.
I think I showed you 2 days ago. I did have a good session yesterday and knit up a bit more. But I'll send you the picture of the scrappy version. I love it. I have the same colour background, and then where it's blue, it fades with that kit, which is blues and purples and some really dark colours. It's just beautiful, and it was so satisfying. So with that one, because it's 2 rounds main colour, 2 rounds contrast colour, I just kept changing. Whenever I ran out, I just kept changing. And I think I did the same thing. I held the yarn 2 strands together, so I'd drop one strand and bring the next one in and just kind of. And yeah, so I got 3 projects out of my Advent kit that way.
Wow. Okay, show me that more closely. I want to see the texture of your. Oh. Okay.
I'm using a very subtle. It's a Spin Cycles yarn, and there's a very subtle gradient shift in this one. It's not as bold as some of the others, so you can see it's a bit lighter down the bottom and it's darker up there.
So tell me about that stitch pattern where you have that, white in the foreground or the lighter color in the foreground, and then you have the darker kind of in the background there.
So it's a mosaic stitch pattern, and it's so much fun. It looks quite complicated, but it's really easy.
Right.
Generally, for this section, the slip stitch section, which is also mosaic, but it doesn't have the pattern, 2 rows are knit with 1 colour, and then you put that colour down, so it's not like 2-handed colour work, 2-stranded colour work. And then the next row, you knit, slip, knit, slip.
Right.
And I like the texture, so then every even row I purl when I'm working it in the round, because I like this texture, the bumpy.
Okay.
But you could knit it and have a smooth texture if you like.
Sure.
And I've got another hat pattern called Astra Hat, and there's matching mitts where it's smooth, so it's the same sort of thing but smooth. And I have knit that as well with just leftovers, like my favourite Astra Hat, where I've just used all those tiny little bits of leftovers in my stash. So then the mosaic pattern, you can work off either a chart, which I find easier, or the written instructions. And it's, again, slipped. Only 1 colour is worked at a time, so the pattern is just formed by the slipped stitches. Yeah, so there's so much you can do with scraps. I love it.
And it's, I've been saving sock yarn scraps, the fingerings. I have a whole tub of them, and I was starting to do like the little mitered square blankets and that kind of thing. And I have one that I've started, but of course it's been languishing for a long time. Maybe I should make hats instead. I mean, I probably will finish the blanket one day, but I might be 60 before that happens.
It's so much fun to just hold them together and mull them, and you can make a whole sweater out of the scraps if you're not too worried about how they go. Just hold a bunch of them together and make it like
crazy
a worsted weight. Yeah. Stephen West style. He's a master at that. It looks fantastic.
It does. He's brilliant. He's brilliant with color. I mean, some of his stuff is crazy out there, but he's very gifted for sure. Yeah. He's a brilliant designer. Absolutely. He makes me nervous when I watch his videos though, because he knits continental and he's like it's kind of loose. And I always think he's going to drop something off the ends of his needles, but he never does. I mean, he's totally, has command of all that. He's very good at what he does, but it makes me nervous. So do you have a lot going on the rest of the day?
I do. Yeah, lots of time at the computer today, writing up a pattern and starting a test knit, chatting in the group. So yeah, lots on the computer today. So I probably won't have much to report back on that.
So this pattern that you're working on, is it anything you can give us a hint about, or? or not yet?
Well, I'm waiting. I was knitting it earlier on in December, that green sweater,
Oh, yes.
the Celestia pullover. So it's blocking now because it's been so cool. It's taking days to dry out. Hopefully, if it's cool tomorrow and it's dry, I'll wear it and show you.
Yay! That would be nice. And so that is out. That's what's going to go off to the tech editing here shortly.
Yeah, so it's a pullover version of my Celestia cardigan pattern, which I've been loving wearing over winter. So I thought, yeah, a pullover would be fun to have too.
Mm-hmm. Did you make the sweater that you're wearing?
Yeah, this is it's a cardigan where I used a lace weight and mohair, kid silk mohair, and it's just so soft, held together. And it's called Ari cardigan. And so it's equivalent to fingering weight. You could just use a fingering weight instead of the two weights held together. So you could use all your leftovers for something like this. That would be a nice project, a fadey advent leftover spectastic cardigan.
Now, is that one knitted from the top down or from side to side?
It is. Yeah, top down. So raglan sleeves and just a little bit of a puff.
Yeah.
3/4 sleeves. So it's nice.
Yeah,
for these,
that is nice.
Intermediate seasons when you just need a little light thing.
I always wonder about using a gradient from the top down and like how I would make the sleeves match. I mean, planning that out is a little.
Well, the Celestia cardigan pattern has that. So I've got two versions. One I knit just in one colour and one where it's a gradient.
Oh,
and yeah, it's pretty complicated to work it out for all the sizes and everything. But but yeah, you just basically knit to where you divide the sleeves and then match row numbers for sections.
Right.
But yeah, because that one's a bit cropped and the sleeves are longer, like you've got to sort of calculate how that all works out too.
Yeah.
But it's so satisfying. It's worth it.
I would love that. Huh. But I also like the Radvent cardigan where you can just start at one end and Huh.
And it's fun seeing the block versions of that too. With that, I deliberately didn't fade each colour into the next, like doing alternating stripes or anything, because I wanted to have that option where people using random kits would just do more of a colour block version. And some of those look fantastic. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm quite tempted to make
I saw
another.
What was the one? I think you posted it on Instagram or maybe it was in your news. I forget where I saw it. It was somewhere on your Instagram or your newsletter or someplace. The gal that did that with the knit picks kit and it was like different shades of green.
Like so beautiful.
Yeah, that was neat.
So beautiful. And that was a fun experiment where we were trying to work out a budget cost version of that, for some people, the 25 colour kit plus contrasting scheme.
Right.
Beautiful indie dyed yarn is just a bit out of their budget. So we collaborated. And there's a blog post. Maybe you can post a link of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
She did that project. It's one of my favourite Radvent cardigans. It's so beautiful. And then a cost breakdown. I think because she held kid silk with hers, it ended up being around between $70 and $80 all up with leftover yarn. But without the kid silk, she worked out it was somewhere around $35 for the project with all the colours. So yeah, it was pretty cool and it just looks so good.
That's neat. That's really neat. Yeah, we'll definitely put the links to all these patterns and things we're talking about down below.
Also today we've got Jeanette from Sun Valley Fibres has sent in a video saying hello to everyone for us to use today. Yeah.
All right. And she's your prize sponsor today as well, correct?
She's today's sponsor. Yep. So a beautiful yarn prize has been won already today thanks to Jeanette from Sun Valley.
Nice. Yeah. And you're 18 hours ahead. That's why I didn't realize that. But congratulations to whoever won Jeanette's yarn. That's great. So stay tuned for her greeting, her little interview.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you tomorrow then.
See you tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Sundstrom, and I'm one of the dyers behind Sun Valley Fibres. My husband George and I are the dyers of Sun Valley Fibers. We live outside of Madison, Wisconsin, which is south central of the state, and we have a 65-acre farm. We got started dyeing yarn because we started raising Icelandic sheep. Cut into a shorter little story here. We started raising Icelandic sheep and we kept on running out of their fiber all the time, but we had signed up for a lot of fiber festivals to go to, so we started dyeing yarn, and that eventually wound up just taking over everything. And so that is what we do now. We have been dyeing Advent kits to go along with Ambah's Advent shawls, and just the wonderful stuff she's been doing for the last several years. We've had a lot of fun doing that. And so this year we wound up dyeing 3 different colorways. We had 3 different inspirational photos that people could pick and choose from in order to kind of tailor things a little bit more. And I mean, you're already rolling with us by not knowing a lot of times what the colors are because it's a mystery, and so I thought, well, instead of having things be a complete mystery this year and you just in blind faith buy an Advent kit from us, even though we have lots of gorgeous and fun colors, lets you see a little bit more of maybe what the inspiration is. And so this last year we had 3 different inspirational photos, and we had a warm set, and we had a jewel tone set, and then we had like dusky cool colors. And we sold out of all of them, and we had like one or 2 jewel tone sets left. So I have one of the jewel tone sets. And so since today is December 9th, happy December 9th, and I am doing an opening, online opening of what the color is behind the package. I ran out of packaging for a lot of the colors, so anyone who has any of my gradient sets, this is not necessarily the package from December 9th, but it is for mine because I get the leftovers. It's not always a bad thing. And here is the color for the jewel tones. So this year what we did was we came up with gradients. It's day 9, so you've already gotten yourself through, no matter which set you have, one of the gradient sets, and you're most of the way through the second one. We didn't name each specific color like we normally do. I just kind of went with gradients 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it just became, I couldn't come up with 75 new colors or 75 new names. I can come up with new colors till the cows come home. No, we don't have cows. We still have a couple sheep and 2 llamas. But I can come up with new dye colors all the time. It's just naming them. Oh my goodness. It gets to be a little bit of a struggle. So this is called Jewel Tone Purple 4. Not that big of glamorous of a name, but it's an awesome color. And I hope you enjoy adding this to whatever it is that you're making it, whether it be one of Ambah's beautiful shawls or her blanket. I am working on the Radvent Afghan and having a lot of fun with that. Behind me, you can see one of Ambah's shawls. It's called the Inara Wrap, and it uses 2 gradient sets, which is really a lot of fun. And in my lap, I have another of Ambah's shawls, and this one's called Torquata, and I named the gradient set specifically Torquata because I used it in this shawl, and it's just beautiful and it's lots of fun. So the coupon code, there's a secret code, or maybe not so secret, but it's just for you guys who are participating in Ambah's knit along, and her name, the name Ambah, A-M-B-A-H, will get you 15% off of our website through the end of the year. We need to kick 2020 to the curb. It's time for it to go, and hopefully you can snag yourself some beautiful yarn to enhance one of the projects that you're working on or start a brand new project. I'm not going to drop the camera down because there's a couple fun critters, a dog and a cat, who have joined me, but thank you for joining me, and take care. Bye-bye.